And by the way, Tony Romo is coming in now at quarterback in mid-drive with 5:16 to play. There's the answer to your question, Charlie Waters. Romo takes over. And Romo back to throw his first NFL pass. Deep down the left side for Sam Hurd. Fade, caught it, leaping in the air at the 5-yard line and down at the 4. Here's second and goal and a busted play. And Romo throws it out to Owen, and it's caught on the left side of the end zone.
At one point, I don't think you thought you were going to be able to make the NFL. I know your dad definitely had doubts about whether or not you'd be able to make it. You end up obviously signing as a free agent with the Dallas Cowboys, but you went undrafted. So when that draft comes and goes, what's the state of mind immediately following that?
Well, you're disappointed at first, but a lot of that's your own. When I look back, as another lesson really to teach yourself is I knew in my heart that other people could throw the ball better than me. That's why I worked so hard in college and once I've gotten to the NFL, because I knew that, you know, if you stacked me up against at the time, you know, it was Carson Palmer, Rex Grossman, Byron Leftwich, you know, Chris Sims. These guys, if you put us next to each other, and these are the guys in the same draft, I was like, they would outthrow me over and over again.
A lot of pressure on number 9.
Cowboy.
Well, I'm packing up my game and I'ma head out west where real women come equipped with scripts and find a nest in the hills, chill like Flint, buy an old drop top, find a spot to plant. Then I'm a kid rocking up and down your block with a bottle of snacks and watch lots of showers by a yacht with a flag saying chillin' the most. Then rock that jumping down the coast, give a toast to the sun, drink with the stars, get thrown in the mix and tossed out of fall. Sip to Tijuana, I wanna roam, find Motown, telling rules and come back home. Starting Oaks and service for all the right reasons, and set up shop at the top of 4 seasons. Kid rockin', I'm the real McCoy, and I'm headed out west, sucker, because I wanna be a cowboy, baby. With a top left back and the sunshine shining. Cowboy, baby. West Coast chillin' with the blues. I wanna be a cowboy, baby. Riding that night 'cause I sleep all day. Cowboy, baby. I can still be from my way. I bet you'll hear my whistle blowing when my train rolls in. It goes like dust in the wind. I once was lost, but now I'm just blind. Palm trees and weeds, scab knees and rice. Get a map to the stars, find Heidi flights. And if the price is right, then I'm gonna make my bid, boy, and let California ain't no one to call me a cowboy, baby. With a top and back and the sunshine shining. Cowboy, baby. West Coast chillin' with the boom. I wanna be a cowboy, baby. Riding that night 'cause I sleep all day. Cowboy, baby. I can still be from a mile away.
Tony Romo was just hoping for a call. But after 7 rounds and 262 selections, he remained unclaimed.
It was actually a tough day because you were hoping to get drafted, and when you don't, it's almost disappointing because you got all your family and friends over, and it's for you, and then nothing happens. It's kind of just like the wedding that didn't happen. And so, yeah, it's a tough day, but it ends up being a great one when you look back. And, I ended up getting a call from the Cowboys. I mean, 20 teams call, but I think I'd already had it narrowed once it got to about the 6th round. If it got to that point where I was going to think about it. And then obviously they got to want you, and the teams did. It was Arizona, Denver and Dallas. I really liked Denver because of Coach Shanahan. I thought he was fantastic. I liked their system, all that stuff. It also came down to who can I beat out, what team can I make.
We had to recruit him pretty hard, and Sean and I were the two primary recruiters. Sean had been talking to us about him, and we talked, and of course the draft was really over, and you know, some of the other guys were kind of having a couple beers, celebrating that it was over, and here we are trying to talk this guy, this free agent from Eastern Illinois, to come and sign with us instead of Denver. That's who the competition was. Now, that follows suit because Mike Shanahan, the Denver coach, was an Eastern Illinois guy, and he knew about him too. So finally Sean said, Bill, you got to get on the phone with this guy or we're going to lose him. So I get on the phone with him and explained to him that this job here in Dallas was not settled. And that the job in Denver was settled. Well, for some reason, even his agent, Tom Condon, laughed at me and says, I don't know how you talk this guy into taking $10,000 over $25,000 that Denver was offering. He says, but you did it somehow.
Tony Romo's training camp started right where his college career left off. Not so much the success part, but more the ad-lib, seat of his pants, no-look pass aspect of his game.
The problem was he was very indiscriminate. Tony had come from kind of a wide-open gunslinger, indiscriminate way of playing the game, and now we were trying to integrate him into, I don't want to say conservative system, but you know, we just didn't want to throw the ball anywhere he felt like it, which is what he basically did in college. He'd do whatever he wanted to, and most of the time he was good enough to get away with it. And for a while in the pros he was good enough to get away with it. But it was just kind of teaching the guy how a pro quarterback is supposed to try to function.
He always had some sayings that he used, and you know, one of them was just he'd always come over and be like, Romo, you're a ball in high grass. And he'd sit there and shake his head looking at you, waiting for you to ask, you know. It's like, well, what is that? And he's like, lost.
That's what he is. That's what he was. You know, I remember his first preseason game. We put him in late in the game against the Cardinals, and we're down in the red zone, and he runs to his left, and he throws the ball like one of those Brett Favre deals into the middle of the defense.
I throw like a shovel pass that hits the ref and hits the ref, and the other team dives down, and Parcells meets me at like the 20-yard line walking out there.
I said, you know what, you can have a short career if you keep doing stuff like that.
A number of years ago, 5 games into the season, Sunday Night Football, and you surprised all of us, you were coaching the Cowboys, that you pulled Drew Bledsoe and started Tony Romo. Now you guys under a lot of fire. What do you think when you hear all of this?
I really like this player. I think this guy has the capability to take his team to the highest level. In fact, I know he does, because I've seen these attributes in play. I know how personally he takes these things. He's done some amazing things in football.
I think that Parcells knew that he needed something different, and Romo was that guy. And so, whether it was going to be good or bad, we're going to go with Tony.
way. I got lightning running through my veins. Ain't nobody gonna stop this train. So hop on board or get out the way, 'cause I was born this way. I got lightning running through my veins. Ain't nobody gonna stop this train. You can't stop us, we can't be stopped. Ever since I was an infant, I spit it 8 mics and rock Lennon. In first grade, I drank my juice with rocks in it. Never looked down, 'cause I had more stains in it. Always been about the heart, never cared who's winning. And I chased the line like MCs on the wrong mic. My blood was the wrong types, I had to get my life. And relearn the minute that I feel real life. I'd rather create than follow. Welcome to the night. Because I was born this way. I got lightning running through my veins. Ain't nobody gonna stop this train. So hop on board or get out the way, 'cause I was born this way. I got lightning running through my veins. Ain't nobody gonna stop this train. You can't stop us, we can't be stopped. Feel that smoke rise to the sky, split like a dollar sign. Flip when you hear that beat, rip like it's dynamite. Cold like a winter street light, 'cause I wanna be. Mic is my weapon, so I spit this artillery. Chase the line like MCs on the wrong mic. My blood was the wrong times, I had to get my life. And relearn the minute that I felt real life. I'd rather create than follow. Welcome to the night. Because I was born this way. I got lightning running through my veins. Ain't nobody gonna stop this train. So hop on board or get out the way, 'cause I was born this way. I got lightning running through my veins. Ain't nobody gonna stop this train. You can't stop us, we can't be stopped.
On October 29, 2006, under the national scrutiny of Sunday Night Football, Romo got his first NFL start. Trailing 14-0 at the end of the first quarter, Tony led the Cowboys to 35 unanswered points and a dominant win over the Panthers.
We were playing a good team in Carolina. We went up there and got a big win. I felt like that was the time to say, man, good things are going to happen with him leading the way. I just saw that confidence and smile. It was a swagger that he had, that he brought. You want to be a part of it.
3 weeks later, the Cowboys hosted Peyton Manning and the undefeated Indianapolis Colts. That Sunday marked Romo's first start at Texas Stadium and the Colts' first loss of the season. The Cowboys ended the regular season with a record of 9-7. And for the first time in 3 years, had secured a spot in the playoffs.
There's a lot more to it than just one game. You know, you got to put wins together under pressure, on the road, in the playoffs, in bad weather. And or any of one of those things can stop you.
After the game, you know, you had tears in your eyes. You said you don't remember ever feeling so low. What was that feeling?
It's a disappointing feeling for not just yourself, but everybody who worked so hard. You know, I was disappointed that I let down all the guys in the team, the coach, and you know, that you were in a position to help your team win and you didn't do it. And yeah, in some ways it taught me a lesson. You know, I was dedicating so much to, you know, playing quarterback. It's obviously an important part of the game, and I just needed to do more in that perspective. So you can't skate on the little things, and you know, it's just another teaching tool that you can use in other areas.
Now, in fairness, absent you, the Cowboys would have never been in that place to begin with. Like 2 weeks after that game, I understand you basically were laying around on the couch. Why do so?
You put so much time and effort into trying to win the Super Bowl each year that when it ends, it's just, you know, it's like you go from 24/7, then all of a sudden it's like, it's over. Now you have nothing. There's nothing planned, there's nothing going on, there's nothing, and you're just like, all you have is you with your thoughts about what you could have done different.
Hey, Tony, I just wanted to say to you, don't listen to what anybody else is saying about you. You're a great quarterback, man. This game doesn't mean anything. You feel me? What do you think?
There's been a lot of noise that people have given Tony Romo over the years, right? I guarantee you this. No Dallas Cowboy fan will ever, never say another bad word about Tony Romo.
It's the worst starting field position of the day. Dallas in its 18. They'll give it to Murray coming right. There's a hole. Gets outside 25. Gets a block. He's out to the 40. Murray down the right sideline to the 47-yard line. Bryant again with a critical downfield block.
Not that for a nice start right there.
Not done yet. Fight's not finished. 2nd and 8. Romo with a gun. Let's pick it up. Throw it right. Bryant dives forward to the 40. First down. Beasley cannot find the stick. He's a yard and a half short at the 32.
All right, 4 downs now.
26-21 Green Bay. 5 minutes to go in the game.
This is big.
Des Bryant wide to the left side. 4th down and 2.
And this could be the game.
At the Green Bay 32 with under 5 minutes in the game. Blitz is coming. He throws a deep ball to the left side, and the ball is Bryant. Caught the ball. How did you not know how Des Bryant accomplished that physical feat?
Wow, you talk about confidence in the guy. Tony Romo had it there.
Oh, my goodness.
You're the fastest one. If we don't score here, you got to go do it again.
A sensational catch, my goodness, by Des Bryant over Sam Shields. Unbelievable.
They have thrown the challenge flag. What are they challenging?
I think they're challenging, yeah.
Should be touchdown.
Hey,
That's a pitch. Is it a touchdown though?
no, it was ball hit before he got the line.
Well, okay.
Goodness.
Is he on the 1 though?
If he caught it.
I see the ball jarred loose, but it is not ever out of his control. I don't think the ball ever touches the ground.
There's no question the ball pops up, but I thought his hand was under it at the time.
I did too.
I got to see one that tells me something differently, you know?
After review, it has been determined that the receiver did not maintain possession of the football. I'm trying to reach over the goal line. Why is that not a catch? I'm trying to reach over the goal line.
This is the end of a remarkable Dallas Cowboys season, and yet all there is to feel is disappointment.
We got the coverage we wanted, and we made the play. I caught it, I came down with it, and tried to reach for the goal line.
What was your level of disbelief when the call was overturned?
I don't even understand why it was even a challenge. Have you ever seen that rule before?
Calvin Johnson.
No. It wasn't like that. I'm reaching for the touchdown, trying to break the play.
Right.
Never seen nothing like it. Can't believe it. That's all I can say. I can't believe it. I've never seen nothing like that in my life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that is a bug. Is a run. They went down to the motor and the boat got drunk. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Jackie is a booger and dude is taking long. That boy come up to New York just to see that run on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now I don't know why she wrote that letter. I don't know why we can't forget her. Oh no. Well, Jackie playing again, Judy playing blue. Let's go got copper cut, now they gonna send us through. Oh yeah. Now Jackie's playing again, Judy's getting the rams. They both got kicked outside, they ain't got no time at that time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know why she wrote that letter. Oh yeah, I don't know why we can't forget her. Oh no.
Do you think they're having a conversation this morning in Dallas, Troy, of, listen, Tony has carried us for most of the last 8 years. We got to go find the next guy at quarterback.
No, I don't think they're having that conversation today. I think the conversation they're having today is we're going with Brandon Weeden. He's our starter, but we've got to have somebody. We got to go sign somebody. You know, is that Dustin Bond, who's a second-year player, who was a free agent pickup last year, who was in camp with them? He was on the practice squad last year. You know, does he come back? Do you try to find a veteran guy? There are some guys out there. How quickly can they learn the offense? But right now, I mean, had Brandon Weeden have gone down in that game, Cole Beasley was the emergency quarterback. So they have to find somebody who can come in and at least play the position.
People focus on what we haven't accomplished. They focus on mistakes, the near misses, heartbreaks. People say we haven't succeeded. People say we haven't won a championship. People critique our lives. People say we get too much praise. People are focused on what we haven't done. That's what I'm focused on too.
Tony have 50 touchdown hookups now, most in franchise history. What does it mean to be in the record books with him?
And you know, like I said, when I got to Dallas, I was extremely starstruck with Romo, and you know, it's a great accomplishment, you know. But I'm in this moment now, like I will celebrate that after the season, and I'm all in on where the season go from here, and I'm locked in, and I'm trying my best to stay that way, and I'm trying my best to continue to keep my team focused, and also them stay that way, because it's not over for us.
As you start to look at the standings at all?
So
you start to look at the standings at all?
We can't. It's a distraction. That's a real distraction. And we just got to stay sticking together. And each and every game, win, lose, or draw, we got to feel good about ourselves when the game over. Keep hold our heads up high after we went out there and gave it all. And I think that's what we're going to continue to keep doing. We're going to fight strong.
You win 13 games, you win the NFC East. You're on the cusp of the NFC Championship game. What's the urgency level now, at this point of your career, with what you have heading into the season, to get to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think it's at the highest. I mean, I don't think any year's guaranteed. I've known after a while. Obviously, lately, back surgeries and such, I think you get that real quickly. But I don't take for granted practice today. I think this is as important a day as I've ever had. It's as important a week and as important of a year as we've ever had. So we're lucky.
I'm going to read you a quote from Troy Aikman. He said, quote, "I think Tony's already a better quarterback than I was," said Aikman. I know quarterbacks are judged, Super Bowls and stuff, but as far as playmaking ability and the things that, a quarterback's capable of doing, he's far more athletic than I was. Tony Romo's capable of making more plays than I was ever able to. And by the way, Aikman, 165 TDs, 140 picks, 61% completion rate. Compare that to Romo, who in less than half as many starts has already racked up 149 TDs, only 72 picks, and completed far more passes with having a much less stable receiving corps. So, I always say this about Tony Romo. Everybody I've ever respected inside football thinks Tony Romo's a huge talent. Everybody gets him except fans.
Let me start with this. Tony Romo underwent back surgery this morning.
When disaster set in for the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, Tony Romo had two choices. He could overcome or be overcome.
I mean, it definitely takes a work ethic the older you get, especially if you're coming off injuries. You have to stay on top of that to be healthy. The fact that he's willing to put in that kind of time says a lot about him.
After 3 8-8 seasons, the Cowboys needed a change in focus. Their mentality became to fight.
It's a fight to be your best. It's not a fight to try your best. It's a fight to be your best. And there are a lot of things that go into being your best. The preparation you have, getting yourself ready mentally, physically, and emotionally each and every day.
Garrett's mantra resonated with Romo, the oldest player on this Cowboys team, who's persevered through 7 seasons of scrutiny.
And it's still loose at the Dallas 2.
Who's got it?
It's the Saints ball at the 2.
They got it.
You don't take no you're a hell of a player, you hear me? You are.
Who's fought through agonizing pain.
Heaves one left, and the pass is caught by Austin in front of Thomas. Tony Romo's flat on his back.
Hey, is it your collarbone? Look out.
Tony Romo is asking his way back in. Hang on, wait a minute, we're going to get you checked out here.
Tony Romo has gone for x-rays on his ribs. He's not in the Cowboy bench area.
Romo's going to play fake and stand back. Oh, he's got Holly all alone at the 50. Holly to the 40. Holly to the 20. Right to the 15. 10. Dragged down at the 2 as he showed off the ball.
The opportunity some people get, some guys go out and grab it and do good things.
Thanks, guys.
Who's been left out of playoffs and even let playoffs slip through his own hands.
And the snap is bad, and Romo picks it up and runs left to the 5, and he's taken off his feet at the 2-yard line. He fumbled the ball, and their season's going to end.
In August, after coming off of his second back surgery in as many years, Tony Romo had to decide. He could either let up or fight.
Over the course of the next 4 or 5 years, you'll see the best version of me that I've had throughout my career, and that's for a lot of different reasons, but I really believe that, and I think that'll show as we go forward.
Romo hasn't been through a single game unscathed. Taking 28 sacks on the year, he fights on. Enduring 45 grueling hits this season, he rises up 46.
This game's meant to be played one way, and it's hard. all the time.
You know, in those moments you got to be tough mentally and tough physically. You got to say, I'm willing to put it on the line right now and go out and do it. And if that means I'm going to go up and make a catch when I'm about to get hit, you go do it. You want to stand in the pocket, you know you're about to get hit, you do it. When the time comes for you to fight and stand in and do the little things it takes to win, that's what you have to do.
Third down and goal. Romo protected. End zone. Touchdown.
Accident waiting to happen.
Touchdown. That is just crazy. Dropped it. Left it up. 6 plays, 72 yards. Made it look easy.
Tony Romo has taken a lot of heat over the years for not playing in the clutch.
Would you want Tony Romo as your quarterback?
Age-old question. Star versus champion. I want a champion. Tony Romo hasn't been able to prove himself in big game environments. He's never won the big ring. If I'm an owner, I want championships. Tony Romo has yet to produce. If it was my pick, I'd have to pass.
Pressing the left side, he drops the ball.
Just sit back and chill. They will find a way to mess it up. And when Romo threw the interception to Trevathan, I just cracked up. I mean, I was dying laughing. I was laughing hysterically. That to me to do it now would just, you know what? That's just engaging in hyperbole. No need to do it because I did it enough yesterday. I almost called you, Skip. You know I never call you. I never call you on a Sunday, but I almost called you and said, "Did I not tell you? Did I not tell you?" But instead, I just tweeted it out there. Tony, oh no.
Just one more time. Some will win, some will lose. Some of all just sing the blues. Oh, the movie never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting, looking down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people, living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the
Well, sometimes it seems you just don't understand the way I think and who I am. When I'm told what I'm supposed to be, I think you know what's best for me. Well, I wanna see you standing next to me. Seems you got nothing much to say. And when you're dying, lying next to me, yeah, I'll turn my head and walk away. And sometimes it seems I might be losing touch, or maybe I just try too much. Now the ball's according to me. And what you think don't mean nothing to me. Yeah, you'll see, I'll make it burn.